On this week's news, Alex Albon provides a health update, while Colton Herta's 2023 F1 deal is dashed. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click that bell so you never miss an update. Alex Albon may spend another race on the sidelines, with the Anglo-Thai racer feeling pretty good and okay, but still recovering from laparoscopic surgery complications that would make a Singapore return tough. Albon suffered from appendicitis in Monza, forcing him to be admitted to hospital and leave the track mid-weekend. But while the 27-year-old had successful laparoscopic surgery, he was soon returned to intensive care after he suffered from unexpected anesthetic complications, which led to respiratory failure, a known but uncommon complication. Albon, however, made excellent progress, was removed from mechanical ventilation, and soon returned to a general ward and then his home from the Tuesday following the Italian Grand Prix.
I've been in Monaco since then, been starting to walk around, and the goal is to be ready for Singapore, which is going to be tough. It's one of the toughest races that we go to, so it's not an easy one, but let's aim high and see what happens.
Multiple IndyCar race winner Colton Herta's shot at an F1 switch for 2023 is off, with the American lacking enough points to qualify for a super license, and both Red Bull and Alpine unwilling to wait for him to race in Junior Series through the 2021-22 European winter to earn his credentials. Herta, who was already tested for McLaren, has been a consistent feature of the sport's 2023 silly season, but has just 32 of the 40 points needed, with decisions to be made in Europe and America well before any last-ditch attempts to close the gap. It's a shame that people don't realize what value an American driver, especially a guy like Colton Herta, would have for the booming American market, said Red Bull's Dr. Helmut Marko. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya was again the focus last week, with McLaren bringing its IndyCar signings to the Spanish track, including 2021 champion Alex Palou and race winner Pato O'Ward. The pair were put through their paces in last year's race-winning MCL 35M car, which is allowed under the current regulations, given F1's clean sheet approach to the new era cars and their ground effect aero. For Palou, it was his first F1 test, and at his home track, one that the team knows well, ensuring clear and easy comparisons. O'Ward, however, was third-time lucky, having tested McLaren's MP413 and MCL 35M last year at Laguna Seca and Abu Dhabi. Forgot how mental these things are. Never gets old. Thank you for everything, McLaren and Zach Brown. Loving every second, O'Ward tweeted from Barcelona. Mercedes technical boss Mike Elliott says a clear direction has now been established for the Silver Arrow's return to the front in 2023, based on the knowledge gained from its roller coaster season with the W13. Mercedes is on course for its first winless season since 2011, when Nico Rosberg and Michael Schumacher piloted the W02 to fourth place in the Constructors. But this year has been a far more bitter pill to swallow, as it followed a record 8 straight titles.
I think what's really encouraging for me is that the understanding that's coming from the simulation work that we're doing, the understanding that's coming from the wind tunnel, that's allowing us to work out why our performance is going up and down, what we need to do to get back into the fight right at the front, and what we need to do over the winter.
Mercedes expects Singapore to suit the W13 better than Monza did, though another podium is more likely than the squad taking its first win in Marina Bay since Sir Lewis Hamilton in 2018.
I think we expect that Singapore to be a bit more like we've seen in Budapest and Zandvoort. It's a bumpy circuit, which is going to provide its challenges, but in terms of the nature of the corners, we think it'll be a bit better for our car.
Haas has bolstered its technical team at the track, with Kevin Magnussen set to benefit from the imminent arrival of veteran F1 race engineer Mark Slade from Singapore onwards. Slade, who has been on the sidelines since the end of 2020, will replace Ed Regan, who is leaving the squad at the end of the season. Slade joined F1 in 1991 with McLaren, where he worked with Mika Häkkinen, David Coulthard and Kimi Räikkönen, before moving on to Renault and Mercedes from 2011 to engineer Michael Schumacher. And then back to Renault from 2012, with his last role with the Enstone team as engineer to Esteban Ocon in 2020. The FIA's Parisian headquarters at Place de la Concorde will soon have a new face, with the arrival of Natalie Robin in the newly created position as its first ever CEO, reporting to President Mohammed Ben Sulayem. Robin will arrive in the near future from Volvo, where she has been CEO since 2017, having joined the now Chinese-owned brand 2 years prior, before which she was with Nissan and Daimler Chrysler. As CEO, Robin will be responsible for the success of the FIA's operation and financial performance, driving the administration's strategy for reform and also developing new commercial growth plans. Four-time F1 world champion Sebastian Vettel will race on after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, with the German pilot already confirmed for next year's Race of Champions, which will again be held in PT Havsbad, Sweden. 2023 will mark Vettel's 11th appearance at the spectacular event that pits elite racers against each other in equal equipment, and his second at the Swedish ice and snow venue, where he finished runner-up to winner rally legend Sebastian Loeb earlier this year, with Vettel's last ROC win coming in 2015. Vettel joins two-time F1 world champion Mika Häkkinen, rallycross star Johan Kristoffersson, multiple W Series champion Jamie Chadwick, and rally father and son Oliver and Petter Solberg. Ex-F1 pilot Timo Glock says there's no bad blood between him and Felipe Massa, despite the German unwittingly deciding the 2008 driver's title in Sir Lewis Hamilton's favor after he was passed at the final corner on the last lap of the last race. Glock didn't speak with Massa for a decade out of respect following that fateful Brazilian race, but told F1's official podcast Beyond the Grid that an interview chance at last year's Interlagos race broke the drought and forged a new friendship.
I send him a text. Felipe replies, super friendly. Hey, mate, no problem. Hey, of course we can do an interview. That's good. That's a really good idea. Let's talk about that. And then I walk into the TV compound. Martin Brundle comes up and I say, he's the right guy to do the interview. The famous words, is that Glock?
Following the interview, Massa invited Glock to race in Brazil's Stock Car Pro Series and to his home for dinner. But the German remembers how everything changed in the aftermath of the 2008 Brazilian race when he congratulated Hamilton in front of the fans.
Then I walk up to the scales and this whole bunch of journalists and photographers runs down. So I go to the side because, of course, they want to go to Lewis Hamilton World Champion. But they all come to me and ask me these questions like, was this on purpose? Did you help Lewis? Why did you help Lewis? You decided the championship. And I was like, what the hell? What's going on here?
Serbian capital Belgrade was the latest destination for Red Bull Racing and its show-run squad, which last week brought the sport to the ancient city, one of the oldest continuously inhabited in the world. 13-time winner David Coulthard joined ex-F1 driver Patrick Friesacher for the demonstration, which marked the first time in more than 80 years that Grand Prix cars had graced the so-called White City. Coulthard and Friesacher piloted twin 2011 world title-winning RB7s on a temporary 2-kilometer track, with the pair supported by the Red Bull Drift brothers and Lithuanian motorcycle ace Arūnas Gebieža. The top squad heads to Singapore later this month, aiming for its first win in the Asian city-state since Sebastian Vettel in 2013. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.